Cucumbers are a widely beloved vegetable that often grace our dinner tables. Despite being surrounded by myths and misconceptions, cucumbers have a rich history that deserves to be uncovered. In the following video, we will unveil the truth about cucumbers, as reality is often more fascinating than fiction. Originally coming from India, cucumbers are fruits that naturally flourish on the western slopes of the Himalayas. It is commonly thought that wild cucumbers cannot be eaten due to cucurbitacin, a compound that makes them taste bitter. However, many wild cucumbers are indeed safe to eat and are gathered from forests for personal use and sale in markets. Approximately 3 millennia ago, cucumbers made their transition from lush mountain forests to cultivated fields. In regions like India and Southeast Asia, where the cultivation and selection of cucumbers have a long history, local people mastered the art of cultivating large, sweet varieties of fruits that are enjoyed both when they are still green and when they fully ripen. One example is the Siamese cucumbers, which boast a rusty red skin and weigh over 2 pounds each, offering a more delightful flavor compared to their European counterparts. In Yunnan, in what is now southern China, highlanders cultivate shihuo cucumbers that are as large as a soccer ball and have a delightful flavor thanks to the carotene they contain. In the 2nd century AD, renowned Chinese envoy Zhang Qian brought cucumbers to lowland China. By the end of the 1st millennium, fresh, pickled, and fermented cucumbers had become a beloved staple in Chinese cuisine. Traditional Chinese medicine practitioners often advised the consumption of cucumbers to help lower body temperature. In Japan, cucumbers, originally introduced from China, were traditionally valued mainly for their medicinal properties. In the annals of history, it was once widely believed that cucumbers graced the realms of lands westward of India since time immemorial. The ancient Sumerians, Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans were said to have cultivated these verdant delights. Indeed, even in modern translations of the Bible, cucumbers find mention on 2 occasions. During the Israelites' exodus from Egypt, they lamented to Moses about their yearning for the delicacies they had left behind: fish, cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions, and garlic. In the prophetic verses of Isaiah, a garden of cucumbers is spoken of with reverence. Legend holds that the esteemed Roman Emperor Tiberius harbored an ardent affection for fresh cucumbers, so much so that his gardeners ingeniously devised mobile greenhouses to ensure his year-round indulgence in these emerald wonders, even during the wintry months. However, it is a curious twist of fate that the dietary habits of the ancient Jewish community in Egypt and the Emperor Tiberius within his imperial palace did not revolve around cucumbers at all, but rather a kin known as snake melons. These serpentine fruits bear a deceptive resemblance to cucumbers, owing to their elongated form, while their youthful flesh possesses a comparable taste and invigorating aroma. To further confound matters, the leaves and blossoms of snake melons bear an uncanny resemblance to their cucumber counterparts. These snake melons have a storied history of cultivation predating the advent of cucumbers, garnering a devoted following in regions such as Iran, Mesopotamia, and the sundry lands of the Mediterranean. Despite their shared attributes, subtle nuances set snake melons apart from cucumbers. For instance, the tips of their fruits curl and don, a delicate fuzz, a feature absent in their cucumber counterparts. These nuances have allowed diligent scholars of our time to untangle the web of misidentification and unearth the true origins of the cucumber in the Western world. In our present age, it is widely acknowledged that cucumbers began their cultivation in the realms of Asia westward of India during the early Middle Ages. Around the 10th century, Byzantine and Andalusian Arab cultivators graciously embraced cucumbers within their gardens. The 13th century witnessed a Dominican monk, the Venerable Albertus Magnus, penning the first detailed account of cucumbers in Germany. As the 14th century unfolded, cucumbers found themselves traversing lands and seas to grace the gardens of England. By the mid-17th century, the New World colonists proudly included cucumbers among the verdant tapestry of vegetables flourishing under their care. When discussing how the cucumber became popular in early times, we come across two myths that emerged between the late 19th and early 20th centuries. These myths have been mentioned in some books and can also be found on Wikipedia. Legend has it that cucumbers were once considered unsuitable for human consumption, only good enough for feeding animals, and were even frowned upon by medical professionals. This belief originated in England, where cucumbers were commonly known as cowcumbers, a term derived from the Old French word cocombre. The elite class of high society preferred the more sophisticated terms pepon and eventually cucumber. A British writer, Charles Dickens, cleverly used the different pronunciations of this vegetable as a literary tool to symbolize characters of lower social status. In the 17th and 18th centuries, references to poisoning or death by cowcumbers were seen as a joke among educated men, often confusing people from other parts of Europe. The other myth is the idea that the first cucumbers in Europe were tiny, resembling peas in size. This misunderstanding probably came about due to a misinterpretation of artistic depictions from the 17th and 18th centuries, which sometimes showed cucumbers as miniature. In reality, these depictions were either artistic exaggerations or representations of young, immature ovaries that are naturally small. The majority of paintings actually showed cucumbers in their true, regular sizes. The earliest documented cookbook that bestowed recognition upon cucumbers in the European milieu was The Art of Cooking by the esteemed Italian culinary maestro Martino de Rossi, whose culinary skills graced the kitchens of the Vatican during the late 15th century. Within the pages of this gastronomic tome, Martino unveiled a splendid array of recipes that showcase the boundless versatility of cucumbers, bearing testament to their burgeoning popularity in the European culinary realm. In the ensuing centuries, cucumbers firmly established themselves as a staple ingredient in the diverse cuisines of Europe, finding their rightful place in salads, soups, pickles, and an array of culinary creations. Much like their Chinese counterparts, European physicians, too, espoused the medicinal virtues of cucumbers, prescribing their consumption to patients in need. Though cucumbers are renowned for their affinity for balmy climes, their northward migration was facilitated by their expeditious maturation period. In the fleeting embrace of the northern summer, cucumbers flourished and bore fruit with astonishing rapidity. The resourceful horticulturists of yore, ever eager to protect these delicate plants from the chill of cooler climes, devised a clever stratagem. Noticing that cucumber roots lacked a penchant for delving deeply into the soil, they infused a concoction of fresh manure and straw into the earth. As this amalgamation decomposed, it emitted a gentle warmth beneath the roots, providing the much-needed solace of heat for the burgeoning fruits. In his seminal work, Silva, or A Discourse of Forest Trees and the Propagation of Timber, published in 1664, the sagacious English horticulturist and writer John Evelyn expounded upon the innovative structures known as cucumber frames. These frames, traditionally crafted from wood and adorned with transparent panes of glass or similar materials, permitted the sun's rays to penetrate and fostered a nurturing microclimate for the verdant inhabitants within. By the close of the 18th century, cucumber frames had become the vogue, spanning a vast geographical expanse from the verdant shores of New York to the gilded streets of St. Petersburg. Consequently, cucumbers emerged as one of the pioneering vegetables to be cultivated in significant quantities under the sheltering embrace of indoor greenhouses. Today, cucumbers continue to be cultivated and enjoyed worldwide. They are a versatile vegetable, appreciated for their refreshing taste, crisp texture, and hydrating properties. Cucumbers are commonly used in salads, sandwiches, and as a garnish for various dishes. They are also pickled to create dill pickles and relishes, adding a tangy and flavorful element to culinary creations. In addition to their culinary uses, cucumbers are known for their high water content and are often consumed to help stay hydrated. Cultivation techniques have evolved over time, and cucumbers are now grown in both traditional outdoor gardens and modern greenhouse structures. Modern breeders offer self-pollinating varieties without bitterness, which are best suited for greenhouses. Greenhouse cultivation allows for year-round production in various climates, ensuring a steady supply of cucumbers even during colder seasons. In modern times, cucumbers are grown in polar stations and even in the International Space Station. The cultivation of cucumbers is done with great care and attention to detail. It is evident that many people have a strong affection for the refreshing taste of cucumbers. Just think about how enjoyable it is to bite into a crisp cucumber or to savor the tangy pickles in a sandwich. Let's be honest, cucumbers are truly a beloved and versatile vegetable that can be enjoyed in various ways. Be cool and straight as a cucumber. Do not teach an old cucumber new tricks, and don't make a pickle out of a cucumber. If you enjoy our short informative video, put your like and subscribe. Do not miss our upcoming videos. We may be a bit awkward, but we always manage to have a good time and find joy in the little things.